It was an X-ray.
Okay, well look at the
blue
Bluetooth stuff. The Bluetooth stuff
no.
just has to transmit from here to
I think
here.
that's just
Right.
like just
But you
It's
can
not
see
very
the
far.
antenna sticking up.
Right.
You, can,
You see what I mean?
come on.
So it doesn't take
No,
much
The
power.
Bluetooth doesn't go,
I
so that
swear,
just goes
'cause
to
it
an
scared the
actual
heck out of
phone.
me.
That's what I'm saying.
I was probably
Almost like a remote, like a receiving
Yeah.
antenna.
So you have a cell
Okay.
phone?
That's
I
what I'm
thought
saying.
that was the whole device. Was just a little.
No.
No, it just has to transmit
But
from
that was-
here
I mean,
Yeah,
to
to have
here.
That would be a much
Yeah.
less
Still late
signal than
90s,
something it has to pick up or send
I
to
don't
a
believe
satellite or an antenna.
Right.
Well,
But it looked like
So that would actually be
like
more
a portable
safe.
phone. It was.
I think I
In
heard.
theory.
Oh, okay.
I think I heard the other
Yeah,
night
one of those
that is it
things, yeah.
California or whatever has already started passing a law that says you cannot talk on these cell phones while you're driving your car.
That's right.
That you
California.
can talk on the Bluetooth, maybe, but you can't talk on
hands-on,
it.
and-
you
and
can't
I
use
think-
the
I
hands-on.
think if
That's
you're-
right. That's
If you're
right.
like under 18 or something, you can't even talk on
You know,
that.
things that people put in their ears, that just kind of freaks me out.
Bluetooth.
Well, it's
Yeah.
funny when I thought a guy was talking to himself at the grocery store because I'm walking around, he's like, having a full
I was
conversation.
thinking
I'm like,
people
what's
talking
wrong
to
with
me. I
this
walk by
guy?
someone
It
and they're like,
works.
hey, how you doing? I'm like, all right, and then they look at me like I'm the weird one. I'm like, you're the one talking to yourself.
Right. It works if you're like a schizophrenic
misleading.
or something and you're not on your medication.
It's like
You can just
Bluetooth.
put the little thing on your ear and nobody will know.
Well,
that
It's
you're-
not crazy, it's Bluetooth.
It's
Did
just
you-
stuck on this
Did
thing.
Did you
Yeah,
see
it's
that
good.
video? That video that I sent out to a bunch of people. I sent it says it's a little video, and this guy goes into a stall, and he's in a stall, and he hears
Oh, somebody talking.
he hears the guy in the stall goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "All right, thank you." He says, "What you doing?" He says, "I'm just, I'm in here relieving myself, And after a while, the guy says, "Be all right with you if I come over?" He says, he says, "I think that's just a little bit far there, And the guy says, he hears the guy on the other end and says, "Hey, look, I'm gonna have to call you later." He says, "This guy next to me just keeps talking."
That's a good clip.
Yeah. Anyway, so you didn't see that one, huh? That's a good one.
No, I
Isn't it?
saw the voting machine hack thing you sent me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm sending it out. Detailed instructions on how to hack the Diebold voting machines now.
Cool.
Everybody will have them. That at least evens up the odds if everybody has the hack
Everybody has them, yes.
info. And did you find it extraordinarily easy to
Yeah.
hack a Diebold?
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
on the back of it, it says like, here's what to override or default or whatever,
Right.
and then plug in here or
Right, right.
external thing.
Well, they
here.
made it so
The
even,
voting
they made it
machine?
so even a Republican could do it. So easy.
So easy a caveman can do it.
So easy.
Oh wait, that's the Geico one.
Right, so easy.
Say, sir.
Oh sure.
Tits.
So easy a gecko or a Geico.
Yeah, give him that one.
So easy.
What kind
a
is that
Geico
one?
can do it.
Give him some of
I
that one.
wonder where they got the name from.
Gecko?
How they came up with the name.
Geico is Government Employees Insurance Company.
And it just
No
so happened
way.
to.
Way.
And you
So
should let me
basically,
have
they had
some
the
too.
Geico.
abbreviation
Please.
and came out with that.
Okay.
Whatever it
Not
sounds like the
Gecko,
most.
Geico.
They were probably like, Geico.
Right.
Yeah.
There were a couple of ladies several years ago that opened a tea room.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Open the gate.
The indigenous tea house.
This one was like you go
Oh
where the old Europe is
Yes.
now.
yeah,
You
upstairs
go
on
up
that.
past that
Okay,
and
that
then
yeah,
the
right.
back. Yeah.
Right. I don't know what it was
Yeah.
called, but yeah, I knew a girl that worked there.
Are you leaving?
Are you coming? Are you just turning your thing in?
Before I forget.
Oh, I want to put a plug in for Mountain
I was
Dungeon.
gonna
Put
say.
turn the microphone right towards
Plug in
you.
Mount Dungeon.
Plug in for Mountain Dungeon. Tonight we have Josh Phillips and Folk Festival. Be a really great episode. We have about 5 minutes of Josh Phillips and Matt Howard, slow motion, playing in the playground with crazy Indian music in the background.
Oh,
So
all right.
yeah, so it's gonna be fun.
Well, I have a question for
And
you.
what's the band?
Yeah.
How's the show going to go on if it was turned in after the deadline and the programming manager's not even here? How's that going to happen?
It's a miracle of science.
Is it
All I can say. Mount Dungeon power goes way beyond Dungeon power.
You got the Mount Dungeon mob.
Yeah. Form of
that will be quite a trick, won't it? But now, what's the name of the band tonight?
Josh Phillips and Folk Festival. You remember them?
Okay, Josh Phillip and Folk Festival. tonight on Mount Dungeon, plus some silly other stuff.
5 minutes because we couldn't get the
Time to work out.
no, we couldn't get the audio to work during the interview, which is outside.
Oh.
We're at a playground,
I think
and
about
so
extending that.
I think
you
they
know,
would.
so we just kind of like overdubbed
Oh.
some crazy Indian music. And they're
Oh,
just
you
kinda
tried to do an interview without me, didn't you?
like, no, not that.
No. Okay.
No, we ran out last time because he had to go on tour. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
So,
Anyway,
Anyway.
the clip Ralph did.
so hopefully it will air
Right.
tonight.
You're talking about when you say he though, you're talking about Ralph. The thing you put on the auction.
Yeah,
Do they
she
have
doing
any
it?
like
Yeah.
heavy metal
Oh, okay.
bands here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, I'll never say like
I think
heavy
he mostly
metal
did the major
bands.
stuff.
I say a
I
lot
already
of like
sold
the
some of that stuff
tribal
out there. I did,
and
We hadn't, had, you know, we've not had a heavy
Yeah,
hair band though, have we? With the,
Yeah.
if we had the
Yeah.
headbanger,
down.
We
played
have
at
like
the
Kings
Orange
of
Band.
Prussia do that.
Kings
I know,
of
right?
Prussia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
the
had-
orange peel.
That's
Yeah.
like
Other
the
bands.
only
Has the Kings of
thing.
Prussia been on yet?
I'm like, we
No,
don't
no,
need
no,
some
episode.
collateral.
They're coming up
I
soon.
was like,
Yeah.
give me
Too much
your,
work to
Kings-
get that
your
kind of
lapel. And
Kings
he's
of
like,
Prussia coming
well, I
up
couldn't
soon.
possibly do that. It was a gift, you know. And I'm like, well, leave me your
Mind
tie.
Shaped
And he's like,
Fist.
Mind Shaped Fish we already had.
Episode.
well, leave me your name tag. And he just wouldn't
Well,
come off of
I think that-
anything, man.
How old are
But he
you?
did pay you.
24.
When I was your age, I was living in Raleigh, and we had a heavy metal club there called the Switch. And I mean, the coolest
So I told him it
bands.
cost money.
Well,
he
you
goes
know-
over to Don and was like,
Kick,
This
Match
is
let me get
Warrior,
$10. Don
PKM.
was like,
But then you gotta think too, like
I know.
the rock
Me and
scene
Ashley
is
need
kind
to
of
get
going.
some stuff. I said,
Well, they kind of had
right,
that
Donate to
Cherry
the station.
Club.
right.
You might be too young
I
for that
didn't-
one.
now
I
I
haven't
know.
been
Found
here.
the
84
price, and
Cherry,
I'm
but
like,
I think
this
that
is
went
for a
under.
donation.
I haven't
Wow,
been here that
I
long.
mean,
Long time
why would
ago.
you do that?
And we're not big enough here for
Well, we were
bands
having
like
fun haggling with them.
Metallica or Typo Negative.
Well,
Or
Typo's been here.
Typo's been here? Really?
Yeah, they were at the Orange Peel. I wasn't living here yet, but they were at
When
the
were
Orange.
they here? Oh my gosh, I just
I
started
wasn't
listening
living
to them.
here, so
I like them.
I've seen them back
another
home
show
like
right
numerous
here.
times. They used to come to Boston like every day.
Really?
That's another show right
You're
there.
in Boston? I've never seen them. I didn't even know about them up
Secret
until
Whisperers.
about a year ago. And now I really like them.
I want to see everybody.
Like I said, though, that's not the scene in Asheville.
What about Corn?
Yeah.
They ever been here?
Mount Dungeon, how's it gonna get on? We don't know.
I'm sure they've been at
It
probably
will
like the
happen.
Island
They were
Center
late
or something,
again.
but
Late
not at
again,
the Orange
those
Peel.
Mount
You're not gonna see
Dungeon
corn at the Orange Peel. That's
I got
just-
mine in
too
late too,
small,
but I've
right?
got enough programming.
They wouldn't play there
He's
unless
told
they
me.
were
Too
really
small.
hurting
He can
for
pull
money.
from mine.
Most,
and
I guess they go to
Well,
like South
we have
Carolina
like a
or
schedule thing.
Greensboro.
But
Yeah, they're-
we're gonna work on that.
Greenville, South
No, it's just
Carolina. Yeah.
Keep on working on it.
Or like I
We're
said, the
working,
Island
work in
Center,
progress.
whatever that is.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I
alright.
think that's in Greenville.
I thought there was. Where
In the
is the
Bio
Bio
Center,
is?
I don't know.
Do you know where the Bilo Center is? Is
In
that
Greenville?
North Carolina? That's in Greenville.
That's in Greenville, yeah.
Is that where they had like the monster truck rallies and stuff?
Yeah, something like that.
That's where
What'd
I
you
was.
say, the Monster Mile?
Monster
the,
truck.
the Bilo Center or Bilo Stadium.
I
or
thought
something.
we had a big one in North Carolina that's like a big venue, but not in Asheville. That's like a
This is
concert
Raleigh.
venue.
Here's
There's a
the,
Bilo.
There's one in
but there's not a
Greensboro.
Oh, in
Bilo
Charlotte.
Stadium or anything.
I don't know about Charlotte, but there's one in Greensboro.
what's it called?
What's the one in Greenville or Spartanburg?
What's Bio Center?
That's Bio Center or something
Oh,
you got
okay.
down there.
I mean, Charlotte.
Palmetto Center,
What's
but that's like an
Charlotte?
ag center, basically what that is.
Because I went to a
That's what I'm
monster
trying to
truck
think, because
rally
I know I went to
somewhere in South
Charlotte for a concert, but I
Is
can't
it
think
the
of
Horizon
Disturbing.
I
Amphitheater?
don't care if that stuff gives me a
I think it's called that.
gas fumes and stuff.
Horizon.
It's
Monster truck.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute,
But
I
they
went to
shouldn't have
Charlotte
them
in a
now
little
with the gas
underground
being
bar,
the way
never
it
mind.
is.
Well, they shouldn't have NASCAR either.
I went to the
funny
Peace
thing
Center
about NASCAR is
in
watching a bunch
Greenville,
of people
South
complain
Carolina.
about
That
fuel
was
prices and
beautiful.
then
Greenville's a really nice
40
place.
guys running around a track for 500 miles. That's
It's got tons of
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly
irony
right.
not
Greenville
lost
in
here,
itself
man.
is really pretty,
That
though.
cracks me
It's a
up.
really
No,
nice
I-
city.
I don't have a
Pictures
problem
there
with
for a
NASCAR in
magazine
general. I
that
just
they
think
were
it's
2
funny.
years ago.
All the fans are sitting there going,
You been to the park down there? The waterfall.
Yeah, I got tons
that
of pictures
bridge. Oh, that's
It is
awesome.
beautiful. That bridge though is scary.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's awesome, but when I went up there, I was going like,
It's true. Usually,
I wish
Usually he doesn't
Asheville
talk
had
this
something
much.
like
I'd
that.
like to hang out there, like just for a whole day.
I wish Asheville had
He's
like some
talking.
kind of bridge
He's
across-
talking. He's Someone's talking.
Look, that's the whispering.
shared.
That's the whispering corner right there.
I know. Oh, I know. There was.
All kinds of things.
They was whispering. As they, said. They were whispering.
Bum, bum.
but we were having fun haggling with him. We were kind of giggling and
We're having some fun
But
fun
he-
at your expense.
But he,
Just a good
but he
old
took
boy.
he was taking us serious, you know.
Yeah,
Never
no
mean
harm.
no harm.
Who bought
Uh-huh.
it?
Be all you ever saw.
Yeah, he went
is
into
trouble.
you know negotiation
Oh, God.
mode.
Yeah.
You know, and we were
I told him
working.
I told him
we
he had to
were
leave one of
working
his
That's
shoes.
hilarious.
My goodness, I'm sure
He
it
got
went
real
over $5 or
upset.
$10.
Yeah, he got real upset when I told him I wanted one of his shoes. He's like, these shoes are $80.
I never give to him too.
That was funny. I said afterwards, I was like, put one of those away for me.
No, he was cracking. We were definitely like, he was sweating a little bit. And then he comes up to me after. He's like, well, you know what I used to do, right? He's like, I used to, I don't know, I forget how he put it.
Yeah.
But essentially, he was like a yard sale, flea market, haggler
Buy,
guy
sell.
or whatever.
Really? I didn't know that about him.
Yeah,
Who's
he-
that?
And yeah,
Paul Purdue.
Candidate
What's he
for the
running
one-
for?
Candidate for the 115th seat, which is Fairview and part of Black Mountain.
So that's
I had a
a
bumper
state
sticker guy.
house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's only
Where's
a
that?
part-time job. Yeah.
Or no, that's Ron Paul.
Doesn't pay much.
Ron
Yeah.
Paul, yeah.
but
Yeah,
he'll
Ron
get
Paul.
but when it comes to the budget, he'll get us a good deal.
Yeah, right.
on everything that's going on, or at least he'll do his best.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, right.
Has anybody seen good movies recently?
My friend.
It's a Mongol.
I saw The Hawk, Incredible Hulk, Saturday. Going to see Hellboy Friday.
I want to see, what is the one that's out right now?
What's the
Dark
other one?
Knight.
Dark Knight. I want to see Wally.
Dark
Yeah, I want to see Dark Knight big time. And
Yeah.
Wally. I want to see Dark Knight and I want to see Wally.
Oops, sorry. I do want to see Dark Knight too. I really want to.
Matt Howard said he
I've
went to see
seen
Wally
like most of
twice.
the movie in the previews by now.
Is
He
Dark
would.
Knight out or does
course.
it come out
Robots
Friday?
and
I
lasers.
think it comes out
Yeah.
Friday.
Is that
Biggest
Friday?
geek.
I think.
Dark Knight.
No, I think it comes out the week
Like-
after that.
I thought it was out a long
There's
time ago.
Because
Because they were talking about it on the radio station. They were like, I saw it. I'm
Well, he
like,
missed it. There
cool,
was
I'll go to the movie
some
and
kids in
then
here
it
arguing about
wasn't even
Transformers
I think
here
it's going to be Carmine.
earlier. And I'm like, where's Matt Howard? He would have corrected all them little
So
whippersnappers.
that's one thing
Yeah,
I
totally.
don't like about the movie theaters here is that the movie theaters don't have all the movies you want to see. So you have to like go
I'm
over to the
waiting
next
for-
town over to see something. It
I'm
drives
waiting
me
for the
crazy.
singing revolution to get here, but it's in Atlanta. That's as close as it can get.
What is
The
it?
what?
The singing revolution.
Oh, Atlanta is the closest it's going to get.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Where does that play at?
go ask them if they'll play it at the
Fine Arts.
Fine
Fine
Arts.
Arts. Okay.
Yeah, go and like special request
Well,
or
everybody
something.
has to go with me then.
Do
Find
it.
You know
the
why?
find
I
the
don't like the
dude
Fine Arts.
you know that owns
Yeah.
I'm a
it,
big girl.
and
You know?
The singing
And the
revolution
last
is
one with the Fine
awesome.
Arts
And
Oh,
lay
the
it on
seating.
him,
Yeah, the seating hasn't been updated
Big
there in
girls
like a
can't sit
century.
in seats like that are big men.
Well, if
It's like,
same
come
seats
on,
they had in
guys.
the porn
Not
store.
everybody's that small. You know? Fine Arts Theater. I can't go see those movies there because those seats are only this big. My butt's this big. It doesn't hurt. I mean, I'm sorry. It's the truth. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in there and sit on the floor.
No, you can bring your own chairs.
Yeah, bring your own chair. There's
they don't have any large seats. They're all just teeny.
The only
I've
time
never
I was
been
in
in
there,
there.
and this was years ago, and I had actually lost weight and was smaller, and I went in there, and it was still.
You could squeeze
it was
in.
very uncomfortable seating. I think it's antique seating. It's what was.
No,
Yeah,
it
they're
is.
very old. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
They've not been
I think
updated
they
in probably a
put-
long
Do they
time.
have
No, they
like
put new seats in
balconies or
there
anything in there? I've
recently.
never been in there.
They did.
yeah, within the past
I don't
year.
know what it looks like.
Check it out. They may have
Yeah,
new
I'll check
seats.
that out then. I
Yeah.
haven't been there in a long time,
That'd be
Yeah.
all
but I
right.
don't want to pay
And they
to go
put
in there.
all
and
new
like-
seating in there.
Maybe are they those
Is it
rocker
all on the
seats?
floor, or is it-
That'd be cool if
Is
they
it
have those
balconies?
big rocker seats. You know.
I don't know. I've
Check
only
it
been
out.
dogging once.
So they do have a balcony there.
Yeah, they've got
I
two
would love to do-
theaters. They got the below and the
One above.
I
Yeah.
would
They,
love to do a movie. Excuse
See,
me.
that's the couple of things I don't like the cinemas here. There's no like stadium balcony seating.
Go
Which
to
I-
Hendersonville.
yeah, there's
Epic
the-
Theater.
The Epic has the big
That is awesome there.
But
is
like
it big?
cine-
Is it
Stadium
large?
saying
That's what I
it's
like.
large.
I
What
saw
is that?
across the
Is it
universe
old?
there.
No, it's brand
Brand
new.
new.
It's
With
the best
balconies.
one.
Is that an IMAX?
Well, they've got the
theater?
I don't know
stadium
about
kind of
that.
seating,
It's the
so
best
it goes
one.
up rather than
one.
on the floor, so
In
you're like this
Hendersonville.
watching.
If I were
the
going to
movie.
design a movie theater, I would put the seats like recliners. So that
Well,
you can
see,
actually recline back
that's-
and put your feet up instead of trying to put them between the little cracks in the seats, which they don't want you to do anyway, but I mean, to really be comfortable
Right
enjoying
now,
a movie.
you now grab that microphone
You
back
should,
because there's nobody to talk to.
Here's what
Epic
you
is
should
good.
do. The seat in front of you have a little thing where it comes down where you can put your feet on top of a little platform.
Kind of like an airplane seat,
Yeah.
so the little table comes out.
Something
Little-
like that. So you
little
can just
footrest.
kick back and your
A little
foot go
footrest.
up and you just, for 2 hours,
Then
or
you can put a
however.
quarter in the little thing and
Well, the Regal that I had back home had the stadium seating,
massage.
but what it was is they had
Could you
floor
imagine a
seats.
theater full of
And
those
then
things
the
running
balcony
and,
kinda set
and the whole
up
place
above
was
the stairs
you
and
can
then
hear
all
the
this
movie.
stadium, so you could be head on with the
What is
screen
that?
lights.
I've never seen that before.
And it was awesome because the chairs were
I don't know,
like
but I feel
rocker
really relaxed.
recliners, so you could
Yeah.
lean back.
Yeah.
And I loved those theaters. Then I came down here and everything's just on the floor, which is the only ones I've ever seen on the floor were the dumpy old ones that nobody ever decided to fix.
Right.
But now even the newer ones are just on the floor, and I don't like that. I like going back home where I could go up halfway through the middle and be like, beeline.
I like the old theaters. The Carolina,
Straight
what
up.
used to be the Carolina Theater in Winston-Salem. I mean, was just this awesome theater. It was built by the same people, designed by the same people that designed the Fox in Atlanta. If that gives you
Oh, wow.
any
So it's
idea.
like
It's a nice
one of
place.
those ornate theaters.
Oh, it was ornate. Yeah, it
Ooh.
was beautiful.
Wow.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish that they would rethink concession in the movies. I mean, it's gotten so expensive, and you go in there and you got to pay $4.50 for a soda. I can buy 2-liter sodas at the
I
grocery
know, but
store.
that's how
for
they make their
$4.50.
money.
That's where you.
It's the same
That's where
thing
you
with
kind
I
of slip
think-
everything in.
Concert, though.
No, that's where they make their money in the
I
theater.
think that they could rethink concession and make just as much money without charging so much
That's
money.
where you have.
It just
deep
means that the
pockets, you
people
put
would have to
everything in
work
the box
harder.
and Take it in there yourself.
I'm serious.
You
I
just
mean, I
said the-
think that
you
they
just
could.
said the bad word.
Right, they would have to work a little
Work
bit,
harder?
a little bit harder. But I think you could come in there and
She's evil.
realistically offer
She wants people to
popcorn
work.
and soda for a reasonable
know.
price, and then add a lot
For
more
$7
things
an hour.
that you could sell as well. I worked at
Like
convenience
6.
stores. I know what it's like,
Never is.
you know, and
No
I
tips
think
either.
you would see
Well, I was
maybe
gonna tell you,
even
I
more
like-
High
people
school
going
kids,
to
they
the
don't
I
know
movies.
like your
Peace
peace
symbol?
symbol. Uh-huh.
All they're gonna do is just like.
Should I put a plug in where it came from?
I don't know.
The open door downtown.
Okay.
You know where that's at? You know where the open door is? $10 for this necklace. $12.50 for the peace symbol earrings. I used to love it. Years ago, there was a young lady that had a really huge dog, like a husky dog, that used to own that store. And then I don't know the name of the lady that bought it, but yeah, $10. Not bad.
Well, you don't see a peace symbol around anymore. You know what I mean?
I try to
They're
keep
kinda
one
weird.
on all the time nowadays.
Doctor
I try.
Evil.
Yes.
Is that what his name is?
No.
Keep his nasty finger out of
He's
it.
kind of right in his hand.
It was nasty.
Right.
I poked
Right.
it.
I poked it. I poked it. I'm Dr. Evil.
You never know where that's
You don't
going.
want to eat
You don't know where the
Yeah,
little
that's
thing is.
right.
I
It's
told you he
kinda
needs
dirty.
a bath. He
Yeah.
needs a serious bath. Yeah, I'm dirty.
I mean, poke my finger.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I decided not to.
No, don't say.
Yeah, let's don't say that.
What is this on the side of his
Control
head?
it. Control the area.
Yeah.
That's his Bluetooth.
Yeah. You ever seen the French film The Island of Lost Children?
Yes,
Yes.
I think so.
Is it
Where there's
subtitled?
a brains and
Yes, the brain in the jar, and
Yeah.
they're stealing the dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, the dreams
Is
of
it
the
good?
children.
Is it like
Oh,
They're
serious?
it's
they're
awesome.
underwater. It's down underwater.
What's it
The
called?
laboratory is underwater or something.
Yeah.
And they come up and they steal children in the night.
And
take-
Ron Perlman's.
I gotta
Ron
rent it.
Perlman's in that?
Yeah.
I've never seen another movie with Ron Perlman except
Oh,
for
it's-
Is
Hellboy.
it supposed to be like
no, this is
scary?
an
Is it
awesome
like
movie.
Thriller,
It's-
kind of
It's a
suspense.
weird movie.
It's a very weird movie.
Yeah.
And visually
Island of
bizarre.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, very bizarre.
I need to write this
And-
down.
and
Can
it's-
they rent it, or is
The
it
Island
like,
of Lost
or is
Children.
it kind of like a?
We should start
obscure
having.
movie?
What's that?
Can it be rented, or
We
is
should
it kind
start
of
having
obscure?
a
Rent it.
URTV night out at
sense.
the movies. Or another idea I have for a show is that there
Island of
used to
Lost
be, and I don't know where it was, there was a channel on that had a show that came on Friday nights, and it was called Dinner and a Movie.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember that show?
And they cooked a meal.
They cooked a
Who
meal
made it?
while you watched the
What?
movie.
They cooked some kind of
I have
recipe.
no idea.
Usually, what I thought was
When
a
I
pretty
saw
weird
it-
recipe.
I know, but usually the recipes coincided with the theme of
only
the
time
movie.
I
Something
saw
weird
it.
about the movie.
I
right.
saw it in the
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
I saw this movie in Estonia, and it's a French movie.
Yeah,
So the
with Estonian subtitles.
yes,
Uh-huh.
so I had to figure it out the
hard way.
the hard way. Yeah.
Cookies.
You want? Okay,
Cookies.
here you go.
Some of these. Some of these.
Yeah, he's
You're a big movie person. I don't know if Jonathan tagged with you with it, but we were trying to find like really good, suspenseful, scary kind of movies, like really good ones.
Yeah.
Because nothing's really been. I mean, there's been a few good things, but
Oh,
nothing's
after
really
we-
been good since the classic old movies.
After we had our conversation the other night about what movie really scared you. You know what the big winner was? What movie really scared you?
Exorcist.
The original Exorcist. That
Yes,
was-
the original
that was the
Exorcist.
Big
winner.
Adventure.
I was 9 years old. I was mortified.
Well,
I
a
was-
real scary movie.
Yeah.
I
The real
was-
ones.
That was scary.
Which one?
What's that?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Wow.
I love Pee Wee Herman.
I like Pee Wee too. You know
He's
what?
scary.
I was traumatized when I was probably about 5 or 6 because I went to this place, Santa's Land in Vermont. And my parents used to take me every fall just as school started and we'd go on a family vacation. And Santa comes up and says, well, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I want a Pee Wee Herman doll. And he goes, what are you going to do with it? Tie it to a brick and throw it out the window?
Oh
And I
my
looked at him and I'm like,
gosh.
no, I want to play with it. I want a toy.
Why do you say that?
Well, huh?
Why do you say that?
He didn't
Obviously, he knew that the parents probably didn't want their kids to have Pee Wee Herman dolls because it was about the time that he was getting
Oh.
wild and crazy. But I just thought it was cool and I wanted one.
He was working on a movie down in South Carolina because my friend Randy was working on the movie.
Oh, really?
And he said Pee Wee ate with the crew. He said I'm like, what you been doing? He's like having lunch with Pee Wee Herman.
That's awesome.
Have you ever watched Mr. Bean? The English.
Rowan Atkinson.
says it
Yeah.
He is funny.
The one he did. The one that he did with Whistler's
Yeah,
mother,
yeah.
where they had destroyed Whistler's mother.
I don't think he stuck his
Yeah,
ass in.
that one was hilarious. The last one was like,
He's
Oh,
lying.
she's there,
He's
okay.
lying. I think he's lying.
Yeah,
He's
of course.
twisted.
I was making like it was like poke, stir.
Well, John, let me ask you. I'm kind of curious. Are we hearing anything about
Stir your tea.
a time frame about putting video on demand on URTV or?
I'm curious about that too. I'm glad you brought that up. That's and because I haven't heard a thing. Well, I mean, not in a long
I think it's in the
time.
works.
But if I'm not mistaken, this is the month when I was asking months ago.
Well, it's me.
It was July, wasn't it? That we were told we'd be
Yes.
looking for it. We'd be looking for it in July.
July.
I'm looking for it because I'm real excited about it. I'm
I am
thinking,
too.
yeah, I'm thinking that's the thing, and
And live streaming is what I think is going to be really great.
yeah.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
live
I
streaming,
can
which
call
which
friends
means the
back
same
home and
thing.
say, "Get on
The
my-"
same thing that goes out in Buncombe County.
okay, that's
will-
okay.
The,
I'll
the,
just
the
do
same,
this over here.
as soon as we stream live, we can stream the same programming.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing that goes out in all over Buncombe County
right.
will be accessible all over the world. Right.
That's awesome.
right.
Wow.
That's right.
I mean, that's awesome.
Globalize yourself.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I
I'm
don't
just
know of
saying.
any networks that does that.
Get ready because we can't handle the fan mail in Buncombe County. In Buncombe
In
County,
Buncombe County,
now.
that's
That's right. Here, I'll put the camera on you. Talk about that. So, there you go. Now,
I hope we
so
get
when
it.
now, let me ask you, when do we expect to see streaming?
Well,
What have
I
you
don't-
heard?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. That's one of the reasons I want to find out from the board when they're going to start.
That's one of
doing
that's a good reason to run as for a board member there because you can keep a closer eye on it from that position. You would think.
this. Yeah, that's it.
There you
As a
go.
board member, I will make streaming happen. Yikes.
Let's do. Yeah, I'm
We
glad
need
you
to-
brought that up
yeah, I
because
mean,
that's been
that's
on the back
something-
burner. Sort
I'm
of.
gonna
Yeah.
take your toy
I
away
did
from you if
talk
you
to-
don't behave.
I'm just wanting to see if there's
Randy?
some
I
hand
did talk to Randy
just
a
joking.
week
hold on to
ago.
these things.
Turn the mic to you.
I did talk to Randy Thomas, or Randini.
Who's coming to visit us soon?
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, when I got off the phone with him, he said,
That's
"Is
going
John
down.
on today?" I said, "I'm sure he is." He said, "Well, I may just go by there." But he has been so swamped, he told me. But he did get his rental house done. He is going on vacation, and he's got 3 staff members, so that's really kept him busy.
Yeah.
But I think he plays a pivotal role in getting it up and going because he's the one who suggested.
Really?
Well, I thought. Now, let me rephrase
Okay.
that. I thought he's the one who picked or helped design what the equipment we needed to be ordered. Word on the street is the equipment's here.
I've heard some rumor of that effect too. That something had come in the
Yes.
mail or was
Something
looking
has
for.
come, yeah, and I'd like to know what's going on with
I'm
it.
not privy to that. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe we don't know what. You know how word is on the street; things get twisted.
Yeah, right. I'm not. What I'm telling you is I'm not privy to that information.
I got you. Well, I'm not either. I just word on the street.
So
What is
In the
streaming?
meantime, we can continue
Streaming
uploading
videos,
our
internet
little things
video.
on our MySpace
internet,
pages
so that you
and
could,
get
you
the
go
word out
click
there,
on the
and when it does
URTV
happen,
website, and you could just click watch
It'll
and
take
watch
off.
it on your
That's it.
computer.
Computer.
And video on demand. That's if you missed an episode of John's show, you can watch it anytime you want to.
Right, but we were told that video on demand would be later.
Yeah, it would be later. Live streaming, I think, would come first.
Right.
You know.
But live streaming is
That's awesome.
That is.
But I think now
I'll
Randy did
take
say
it.
something about there is an issue with bandwidth, because bandwidth cost, and there's
Well,
some
not
issues
if not actually. There's not an issue if you go to Randini's site because they promise infinite
there.
band.
812.
They promise unlimited bandwidth. Unlimited, no limit to the bandwidth that you get. That's what it says on the advertisement.
So it shouldn't be an issue with it.
Right.
then,
So
should
we
it?
can either go there and do it, or we can go there and sue Randini for false advertising.
I don't think Randy would do that now, but I'm sure he'd back that up. I have to ask him about that then. for
I can
sure.
show you. If I had my computer, I'd go there. But just go to that 618 host.
618 a month, unlimited bandwidth.
Go to 618 host.
Yeah. You looked at it?
No.
Yeah.
I did look at it early on, but I hadn't looked at it lately.
That's right. And I told him,
Randini's doing
I
that?
said, Randini, I'm gonna get a place on your site. I said, I'm your worst nightmare because I was thinking about getting it to host this instead of actually streaming from here, and running the server here, just park it on his unlimited bandwidth site because the truth is he has a bunch of bandwidth he's not using.
Oh, I'm sure.
See what I mean? Which he keeps in reserve, Of course, he's not hoping it's all going to get used up real quick by somebody like us. But we could move right in and use up all his bandwidth for him, So
I have to.
that's what I was threatening to do to him because I know what it. We'd be getting the deal of the century out of him, and I thought Randini might just give it to us, because he's advertising it,
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
well, that's something we need to ask him,
Yeah.
or I'll ask him next time I talk to him.
I saw, this is something a little bit off, but I saw a story the other day that the end of the internet is soon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was on television. It was a
Oh,
couple of
really?
nights ago.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about it.
Because everybody's whining about their kids getting on MySpace.
No, not that.
What?
Because they're running out of names.
Huh?
Oh,
You
Running
can
what
no
names?
longer. You can no longer, like they're saying, you have to hurry if you're going to get a domain
I just got
name
two.
or
I
something
just got.
like that. Is that right?
I just
Is that
got
right?
two new
Yeah.
domain names a couple of weeks ago. I got high def audio
I heard about that.
dash info, or dot info, and high def sound dot info,
I read something.
which go well with psychoacoustic research. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Psychoacoustic research.
I have.
You really think
I also
that
have
they'd do away with the
psychoacoustic
internet?
research.
I don't think so
US.
because it's just
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
but
some kind of
no,
other
that's
thing.
right.
bigger
that's-
than anything else right now.
Well, there's some kind of other thing that's going to be like much faster, much bigger, and the internet wasn't really supposed to get this huge anyway.
the
Well, I
internet
hope they
was meant
split it
for-
up into commercial and non-commercial.
Well, it's really not a
Yeah, I
separate
would like
product
to
if
see
you really
that.
What
think
kind of
about
like the
it.
cable situation?
See if you read the very bottom.
John Blackwell at
Well, then they're gonna do away with
gmail.com.
regular TV next year.
Psychoacoustic
So you can't get antenna,
Research
you have to
US,
get-
HTTP.
January.
That's what he's
January?
talking about, like these
Something like that.
addresses.
January.
Right.
Which I think is, I
If
mean,
you don't, even if
I
you're
don't
not
think it's a
ready for
problem, but a lot of
web page,
people
you need to get
are
these
really
addresses
like,
I have four.
ASAP because they're
What's
being
going
used
on?
up
But
like that.
everybody's
And
gonna
people
get
can
transferred.
Sign in.
I mean, most people are
I
gonna
don't
get
know
a
where I
box
read this,
anyhow.
but I read about
It's
it.
not.
I have
gonna,
4 of those.
It's not gonna
Can
be
you
that
do some?
complicated.
Huh?
Well,
Maybe
for
this
me
one.
in particular, I got a TV in my basement. I don't have cable in my basement because I never run the cable, and I like to turn it on sometimes. And in January, we won't be able to watch it.
Well, what I heard was basically through the transition, everybody who's got a regular television now is going to be given.
No, you have to
No.
buy it.
That's what I was under the impression of, that you're just,
Buy it.
or your TV's gonna be built in with a.
Well, the new TVs will be built in, I'm sure.
Well, I think that once this transition takes place, at the high price we're seeing on these widescreen TVs right now, I think you'll finally start to see them drop. I hope you see that because they're so.
Well, the thing I
expensive
thought
right
was
now,
good
it's
about those
ridiculous.
boxes, the little receivers, is that from what I gather, you're basically going to have basic cable because basic cable is going to be regular cable now, a regular television.
Well, I'm less concerned about what the price of the TVs are going to be. What are they going to do with that bandwidth?
Oh,
That's what I want to know. What are they going to do with the airwaves?
100 billion digital channels are going to carry everything in the world.
No, but those public, you can still use those. Those should be ours again.
Well,
Yeah, all of it.
They're selling them to the
lost.
corporations who are the highest bidder. They're selling those bandwidths have all been sold to the highest bidder, and those highest bidders.
So that
are
means
only
Rupert Murdoch gets it all.
corporations.
I think they've already done that
I
auction,
heard
hadn't
Henry
they?
Rollins talk
Yeah,
about
they've already done that.
They've been auctioning them
Yeah.
off for a while.
No.
They've made a lot of money on
No,
that.
somebody kind of controls all the media.
The street I live on is Murdoch.
Hmm?
The street I live on is called Murdoch.
I used to live on Murdoch.
See,
I used to live on
It's a
Murdoch.
Did
conspiracy.
you? What
Yeah.
part?
Toward the end, 289,
I live at the other end. But yeah, I live at the other end.
15 or
Yeah,
something.
15. But it's crazy. It drives us absolutely crazy. Me especially because it's a thorough through for Merriman to Charlotte or Charlotte to Merriman, and I
Don't
mean,
those like speed bumps slow people
they should
down?
just not at all. They should just come in and paint a little dotted yellow line all the way through with
I think
stoplights.
Asheville
I
has
mean,
more
it's-
speed bumps than any place I know.
And then you have to go like
Traffic
this.
is bad.
It's almost like you're going into traffic when somebody's coming this way. When you have to go through those little mazes, it's almost like you're gonna go into them.
Oh, I think I know. Those are weird.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. I went through there with my van, and it was kind of like
Where's
too
that?
big
I've
to go around
never-
those little.
I've never lived in a town before where they had engineers whose job it was to design the streets, change the streets to make them so that they wouldn't wouldn't handle the traffic
I know.
that they have on them. Do you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Richard?
absolutely.
And it's always a shock to me.
They're not widening the streets; they're narrowing the streets.
It's always a shock to me when I see a street that I used to drive on and it was wide enough for two cars to go down and pass, and they've widened the sidewalk to make the sidewalk 3 feet wider and the street 3 feet thinner, and now the cars can't pass each other, and I actually knocked a mirror off of a truck that as we passed,
Where
and-
was this?
huh?
What road is this?
What was
Murdoch?
No,
No.
maybe no, I don't think
No,
so.
but everywhere I go, the
The
roads
worst-
are narrow.
But
The worst one I know
Around here
is
is
go down
the
Tunnel Road,
Crazy
turn
narrow.
right at that filling station right across from Hall Creek Road entrance. Red, there's a development up there called Redwood Estates. And the reason they did that road because there was a paranoid. The neighborhood was paranoid that people would start cutting through there to go to Walmart on the river roadside, and those have those real cut.
And Dr. Mumpower, I watched City Council go up against this, and Dr. Mumpower felt like that was too much. But as a sibling that survived a sister that was killed in '82 in Raleigh on a street in a rural situation that was even less, it was the same situation. The guy that killed her come through on a construction truck and cut through. The same thing these people are doing over there at Walmart, the same things they do on Merriman and Murdoch. They don't get it. They don't live in the street. They just want to get home the fastest way possible. There's children that live on our street. One day I was coming home, I watched one lose a ball in the middle of the street, and he started to run right out there after it, and all of a sudden you could see it. It was just like, and he realized, I can't go in the street. And several of us just stopped. And so yeah, and some of them at night they come through like 55 miles an hour. The cabs, I've ridden in the cabs. I was in the cab one day with this guy, and I won't say the company name, but he was telling me, I know the inches differential on every car that can go over this island. As he drove over, he says there's 18 inches, so I know this Crown Vic can go over the top of it. His car can
You're
go
talking
over
about the
the
island
top
in the middle
of
of Murdoch?
Yeah, those little islands where they planted that.
He used to go. He went over
well,
it.
that's a
He drove
cab
over it, and
driver's
everybody
job.
drives over it. And I just
Yeah,
looked
I've
at
done
him,
that
and I
before.
was like, I got home and I called the
Well,
cab
same
company. I said, this is not what I
Not
want,
But that's a cab driver's car to know what the clearance under his vehicle is. Yeah, but
It's
It's just growth. It's just it's a byproduct of growth in the city, and it'll continue as the city grows.
But see
the
if
more people come here, you'll have
if we
more
lived in a
problems
true
like that.
anarchy, people in the neighborhood could sit outside with the 22
That's right.
and could pop the tires
That's
out on
absolutely right.
cars,
Right.
what and
I
slow
thought
them
about
down.
taking my car and just turning it that way just to block the road entirely, but
And how about some of those things that where the spikes stick up? You got one of those things that flips up with the spikes and slow them down.
This-
Somebody's going too fast, like
Kaboom!
over
Oh,
35,
yeah,
is just like or something like that.
strips.
Could they make up one of those for people who don't use their blinker? Because I would love that.
No,
Don't
you,
use your blinker, cut me off, and it goes, psh, that's what you get.
Bam.
no, you just
That'd
need
be awesome.
you just need a super soaker that shoots sewage.
I want something because I
Raw eggs.
I'm wondering
That's
who
shoot
said,
raw eggs
"Oh,
all
go
over
ahead,
the
don't
car."
bother. It's just a
They can
decoration.
never
You
get
don't
that
need
off.
to use your
What
blinker."
do you
or
think?
anything."
You have a lot of expertise
drives,
in traffic
they never get it
control and stuff, right?
Well, I think when they put those common devices in there, especially those cut ones like you were talking about, it limits the emergency vehicles, and I'm in particular
does.
talking about the fire trucks and maybe some of the ambulances.
Yeah,
Most of the
that's
ambulances set
a
up
good
high.
point.
That's
I
right.
think that
definitely
needs
a
to
good
be
point.
number one concern.
Yeah.
I can't believe how people will
Well, human
race
life
the
needs to be,
ambulances.
yeah.
I was going
Race-
downtown. I
Race
was
the
going
ambulance?
downtown, and I'm coming from Hendersonville Road, going
Yeah.
up towards Mission Hospital, and this car sees the ambulance coming, and we're going around that curve right after the bridge at Mission Hospital, and this car sees the ambulance coming, so he speeds up and just starts flying through all the lights downtown just to get away, so that he wouldn't
Oh,
have
so
to
he
pull
could-
over
yeah, I
for
got
the
you.
ambulance.
Got you.
I'm like, this guy is gonna kill somebody, and we're gonna have a reason to have an ambulance
Yeah,
out here. I'm like,
another-
come on.
another-
Well,
yeah,
frankly,
once
as
in a
long
while.
as they get out of the way, that's all the ambulance driver cares
but
about.
he was just, let's go, and that area is very narrow. That couldn't be any more narrow than it already is to have people speeding like that. That's
Asheville-
That's
Well,
crazy.
go ahead.
The roads are lined from cow trails originally. That's all it was.
in
I mean,
Asheville.
Yeah.
I'll tell
cow
you. I'll
trails.
tell you a story. I like to tell this because I think it's a good story, and that is that in Winston-Salem, the town that I come from, if you can believe it or not, the streets in Winston-Salem are at least as windy as the streets here in Asheville. Very similar, as a matter of fact.
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah.
And they
I don't believe it.
and if I'm not mistaken, First Street crosses Fourth Street. Then not just once, or even twice.
Don't get on First Street.
Okay.
That's a math problem.
so-
for
so
all
you-
kids.
First street that was ever windy in Winston.
Okay, so but and there's two stories about how they got that way, and the first story is that they followed a cow into town, and everywhere the cow went, they made a street there, and the other story is that the streets were laid out by a drunk. And I know the truth of the story because I know the drunk that laid out the streets. in Winston-Salem. He lived 4 houses up from my grandmother's house, and that's.
Did you ever go to Old Salem?
Huh? No, it wasn't in Old Salem.
No, did you ever go to?
Oh yeah.
That's a cool place.
I'm all familiar with the coffee pot of Old Salem.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
taking
that-
pictures of that.
Okay, that coffee pot was originally the sign for my great uncle's tinsmith shop. Was he built the
Sweet.
that for that purpose. Uncle Julius Mickey, he was. So,
Julius and Mickey.
yeah. So anyway,
Has anybody been paying attention to the girl that's down there at the magnolia tree? She's trying to save it.
oh yeah, okay, that's what I meant to say. We have a special guest coming tomorrow. Special
be here?
special
Oh,
guest
she better not leave the tree then.
is
I'll go down there and see
is that there's a girl
Turn her
coming
back
here
on
to
the
talk
tree and
to
it's
us
gone.
about the you know they're going to have a gathering out there tomorrow.
I've heard.
When is it?
It's 4 to 7 every evening
Yeah, but they're
Sometimes
going
it
to
is.
have a special one because they're getting ready to have a closed
session.
and so during that closed session, they're going to have a meeting, and we're going to have a special guest here tomorrow to tell us all about it. And
Maybe I could attend. You think he'd let me?
well, tomorrow will you attend?
Yeah,
you
I
have
may
to be
just-
nice now. Be nice.
I'm not like some of the other
Okay,
ones that
all right,
spit
yeah.
in here. Come
Yeah,
on now.
I just want to make sure, I'm trying to keep it nice. I told you, I'm trying.
Wow.
I'm trying.
You shouldn't even say that.
I'm trying so hard to be nice. No, you don't know. I'm putting that on myself too. I'm trying to make all of us be nice, not just you. I'm trying to be nice.
Interference.
Well,
It's my new
I
thing.
hope that city council does vote in favor to save that tree.
I do
Because,
too.
it's a magnolia tree. I'm not
I
going
know.
to be tree prejudiced, but magnolias are notorious to the south. When
Right.
I was growing up, my grandmother that lived beside us had two huge ones the same size as that in the front yard. And, for a city that tries to
Be green.
to be green and that, cares about citizens and to be
And put-
innovative.
Well, I think
They
it-
took the
Vanilla
Staples
Road.
sign down. At least they could save the tree.
They took the Staples
I
on?
think they did.
I thought
saw
it was
them
a-
doing something the other day. I think
I think they're putting
did it.
greenery up on the sign.
That
of
was
Staples.
But
They're
you-
taking the signs down.
That was
That was easy.
Oh,
I
where's
gotta
that?
ask you something. Which
Hey,
is
where's
worse,
the That's
Staples
Easy?
sign or that building across
Oh, yeah.
from McDonald's on Merriman that sticks? I'm curious. What's worse?
It is a funny building.
It's
Now, God
pathetic.
forbid.
I'm just curious. What's your opinion of it?
No.
The building across from, I think it's a little bit lower than McDonald's on Merriman. That building that sits right up on the sidewalk.
Oh, you're
The
talking about the one
funky-looking
right
brick
across from the Asheville
Pizza. Yeah.
That place is kind of like
Think about that.
Ugly.
First, it's a bank.
What do you think?
BB&T downtown.
But in
that
10
sits
in
higher
10
than
years,
the
it's going to be
other
nothing but
building.
buildings
big
like
building
that,
in town.
from
It says
Staples all the
I
way
know,
out to that
BB&T says
building.
that's a big.
Staples was
It's the
lower
big
than-
building in town. That's what it stands
Staples was
for.
lower than BB&T. If Staples got to pull their sign down, BB&T got to pull
Well,
their
Staples-
sign down too.
Staples-
You can't say it's good for one and not good for the other.
BB&T pays
was
more
built
money.
in the
It
70s. Staples was
doesn't matter
built
when it was built.
in like
BB&T is like kind of like
2000.
the
Hello?
two towers to New York City, though. It's,
Listen
it's
up.
just
They
the
can
building.
take the sign
It's
down.
part of the Asheville.
No, I mean you
That's written on the building.
You cannot say, oh well, BB&T's fine because they were here first, but Staples can't put their sign up there. That's just bull.
The city did
BB&T
give them. What
BB&T
people don't
pays
They
realize.
a lot
fell
more
under
money
some
than
kind of
Staples.
Yeah, and
grandfather
that
clause
doesn't get
because it
in-
was
in the
built so
way.
they can keep their
No,
sign
and it's
up there.
part of the
These
city
ones
scheme.
say-
yeah, BB&T
You know,
up,
If the
up
if the
on top of
BB&T
the
building was
Well,
gone,
the
that would just
problem
look
about
weird.
that
I know.
Staples
If
sign was
they put
the city
sign
gave them
BB&T
approval
on
for
the
that building.
first
They gave
floor,
them.
then I'd say
They
that's
signed
ugly.
off on that, and
Yeah,
that's a
but
it
city
sits up
issue.
on
That
top
should
of the
not have.
building. It's
I think you
I
should
have
have.
never seen so much
not my way.
controversy, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and I pay attention to it more, but this city is just constantly in opposition with one another. It seems like everything we do, there is no harmony in the city.
That's like
Everybody
everywhere,
is
though.
opposed to everything.
Would you say it's
know?
special interest?
What?
Yeah.
Would you say it's a special interest?
Well, look out in West
It
Asheville.
is.
There's a ton of signs down there. Why don't they go pick on some of them? You know?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Because
I
it's not a
disagree. I don't
tourist
think it's
area.
right. I just don't.
Well,
you know, and
I'm-
I pay taxes.
Well,
so-
I'm going to tell you something. Asheville is different than
I have
other
a right.
places. Asheville's different than other places, and a lot of it has to do with the people who have lived here
Well,
forever,
that's-
and a lot has to do with the people who are come here. We got the came heres and the been heres. All right.
Let's
And
get
done
this
that.
camera going.
Okay, you tired of
Let's
you
get
tired-
the other
yeah,
camera
tired of
going.
That's part of the
Hi,
I'm
camera.
not trying to make you the spotlight. I just forget to change it.
That's part of the problem.
Okay. Now you're back. Oh look, we have other people here too. And
What do you know?
But what it is the Asheville's different than other places from both the Ben Heres and the Came Heres to a large degree, and that is that and we like being different than other places.
I understand
We
that.
don't want to be like everybody else, and like everybody else might have a Staples on the corner, a big old Staples and what have you,
Right.
and stuff. But Asheville people, generally, there's a lot of people who don't like that. I think it's odd
sort of like
that
the
What, Staples?
Yeah.
It's not really taking up any room. It's not like they killed
not.
the whole
Doesn't bother me
wildlife
at all.
sanctuary to
I
put
I don't.
up.
I think in your average southern town of this size,
better than
that
what
it
was
would be
there.
hard to get a group of
Well,
citizens
say-
together
right,
concerned
right,
about the fate of a magnolia tree that size.
But as a commoner, this is part of the problem.
Easy to get to.
You said it right there as a southern town.
That
We're a
building
southern
across from
town,
the
but
pizza
we
place,
also
it looks
play
terrible.
on the world market.
Which one?
You know,
The
you
one
can probably
across
go
from
over
the
and
Asheville Pizza.
It's kind of like
and see
You know what?
magazine
It's like
articles of
this.
Asheville.
That
It's
building
fun.
is
You
stupid
can
too,
probably
because
go
I
anywhere
went
in the
over to
world
Jersey
and
Mike's
see,
to get a sub,
you know,
right?
the
And
incredible
they've got a whole
Asheville,
parking
North
lot set up
Carolina.
for it, and they've
You
got
know,
a big
but with
walkway,
that,
and you
you know,
walk
all
up
these
the
people come
walkway,
here, they
and it
come
doesn't
from,
connect to the
you
next
know,
set of
off-
stairs to get into Jersey Mike's, so you gotta walk off, get a turn around, go across the
Everybody
lawn,
comes
go
here, they
like
wanna
this is.
bring
learn how to build a
Their
building.
city with
And
them
then
here.
they've got the exit
know,
when you go around the
They want what
building.
they saw in Boston here.
When you
They
come
want what
out,
they
you've
saw
got
in
this
New
much
Jersey
space, and
here.
people
That's
try
not
to
gonna
come
work.
in
Well,
the
that's
out.
just it. That's where you run into the problem.
And
You've got all
it's a
this
scary
ethnic
spot because you
diversity
can't see the
and
road. You're
cultural
blind
diversity
when
of
you
these
try to get
people.
out on
So you're
American.
saying, well,
That building.
now I
You're gonna
have
get the
Publix,
front of your
so
car
it's,
torn off.
You know, why
They
can't
should
I
put
have
the
a
building
Publix
back
here?
and put the parking
You know, or
lot
why
in
can't I
front
have?
like they usually
You see what I'm
do.
saying?
But that's a new trend.
And
I
that's
think.
where we run
Put the
into
buildings
this
up front on near
situation.
the sidewalk. Parking.
Oh, I'm making a terrible racket
I
here.
don't know.
So I don't know.
I don't like that trend.
But going, I
They
do
need to
wanna
work
say
on
one
their
thing about
lights
the
too. The
Magnolia
lights don't
tree.
work
Number one, it's not
What?
about the tree.
on their
I think
building.
it's a statement.
They're always
I think
going
it's a
out.
positive statement
Yeah,
to
you're
the
right.
community.
This
And
it's
and
like
always to the
Carolina.
public is to
Carolina
say, you know,
Erst.
yes, we do respect certain,
Or
we
Ina
respect
Erst.
heritage,
Yeah.
we respect
Ina
certain
Erst.
things, and I think that if it's
Ina
possible to
Erst.
throw that off,
Yeah.
you know, 12 inches to the right to prevent it,
Yeah.
it's worth doing
The,
it.
the tree itself is dying. They've
Oh,
had
really?
Where
yeah,
is it?
it's
I hadn't
dying.
heard that.
Magnolia.
That's
Where
what
is
I
it?
was told.
And why is it dying? Too
doesn't-
many people stomping around on its roots, or
I just heard it
Too
was
many
I
dying.
people
have not
hugging
heard
it.
they
that
had-
now. I'd
that
seen
they-
pictures of it and it looked
Dying
healthy.
from
or has there
love,
been
too
some
much
developer
love.
up there spreading salt, rock salt out on the ground?
Really?
Yeah,
And they're
right.
always looking, they go over there and pour bleach at the roots and say,
That's it.
oh, isn't that too bad?
At
At
Oh,
night,
well.
probably late at night.
Well, Jan Davis said it real well the other day, and you got to realize Jan Davis is on the Democratic side with the majority on city council. He said you should not blame the developer. The developer seen an opportunity because that property was coming for sale. He took advantage of it. Should not blame. Well, that may be true, but shouldn't blame the developer. And I think that's
To blame the person who sells.
Coleman.
Yeah.
You know, he built all the malls. He's done that, and yeah, he's probably a rich guy here in town, but. I don't think we need to blame him.
Why did they take the water fountain out?
I don't know.
Did that surprise you?
I don't know where any
What's
of this
that?
stuff is.
The water fountain got gone?
Water fountain.
You know, I heard it was leaking in someone's building underneath. There's a
Oh.
parking garage, and I hear that there's a parking garage that's somewhere in that area, and water is
So-
getting in because of that. That's
Each
what I
time
heard.
they turned on the water would go in the parking garage.
That's something like that. I heard that. And again, that's hearsay, but I like that water thing. I thought that was kind of neat.
Hey,
So,
Quick, kids,
so
go
where
to
is
the
that
parking
tree?
garage, get it.
Huh?
Where is the tree located?
It's right in front of City Hall.
Alright.
Yeah. But
I have treats.
This is the other thing. Quakies.
the way it is right now, the developer has rights to go ahead and build there. The way it is right this moment.
Okay.
I just sense
I
Is
don't
it not
know.
possible that some like horticulture guy can't
He's a
just
reasonable
take a
guy.
trim?
Well, he's offered.
Grow the
I
tree
thought, is
somewhere
it
else?
possible to
Maybe it's
actually
all
uproot a tree that big?
Well, he's
You could
offered
just take a
20,000 to
clipping,
do
though. You
that.
don't need to take the whole tree. I
But
mean,
would it be possible to go in a what do you call it, a perpendicular circle or whatever, to go that
Oh, you
far
can pull
out
the
and
tree
go
up,
down
okay.
underneath it and then reroot a tree that big? I've never heard of that being done,
Well,
but I'm
I've never
wondering.
seen
Enough
the
money
trees.
to do anything.
I'm wondering if that would be possible.
I thought
I
the
mean,
deal.
they've relocated redwoods before. I don't see why
I
they
thought the
could.
deal was that the tree was on a piece of land that had been given to,
As the pack, the George.
It was supposed to be only for parking, always, right? That was the agreement.
Pack, but
I was trying
they're
not to
now saying that
advertise.
that property didn't come all the way down. They're claiming